Hello, lovely magnetic wife. This is Laura Amador, Laura Doyle certified relationship coach and intimacy skills expert. So, as you know, if you've been following my blog already, this is actually my very first YouTube video. So, I have to start by giving a huge shout out and thank you to the beautiful ladies who encouraged me to do this. You know who you are. So, my hope is that you can just pop in your earbuds and listen while you're folding laundry or commuting or going for a walk. And it'll feel like we're having a heart to heart, and you can just soak in the tips, soak in the information, and have it be time effective as well. So today I want to speak directly to the wives out there who feel like they're pouring their hearts into their marriage, doing everything they can, but still feeling stuck. So if that sounds like you, stay with me because I see you and this video is for you. So maybe you've sent texts that went unanswered by your husband or shared your feelings only to be met with silence, which is so painful. Or maybe you've swallowed your disappointment to keep the peace, wondering if your husband really sees the pain behind your smile. You want to feel connected again, but you're stuck in this frustrating and painful cycle. So, today I'm going to share 3 hidden beliefs that keep many wives feeling stuck, even when they're doing everything right and putting in all the effort. And I'll also give you some powerful ideas to chew on, as well as practical steps that you can take right now and start applying right away. So here's the thing. Sometimes the biggest blocks aren't about what we do, but about what we really believe deep down, because our beliefs shape our actions and shape the energy with which we show up. And we humans are energetic beings. And so we're really good at picking up the underlying subtext, even if words go unsaid. So these hidden beliefs can keep you stuck in patterns that drain your energy and dim your hope for the marriage that you truly desire. So the first belief that I want to talk about today is this. If I just do more for him, he'll eventually reciprocate and make me feel loved. Maybe you found yourself cooking his favorite meals every day, or taking care of the kids without asking for help, and keeping the house spotless and constantly asking if he needs anything, all with the hope that he'll finally notice your efforts, open up more, lean in more, help more, and just become the partner that you long for. You might even catch yourself thinking, if I just do one more thing or if I do it right, he's finally going to change. But here's the reality. No amount of doing more can make someone change how they're showing up for you. Trying harder to fix things or to earn his love often leads to you feeling exhausted, invisible, and emotionally drained. This is a pattern that I was stuck in for a long time, and it really took a toll on my self esteem and my feelings of worthiness. It's like running on a treadmill where you're moving a lot, but you're not really getting anywhere. So here's the truth about what really moves the needle in a relationship. Your worth and your husband's willingness to change are not connected by how much you serve or do or sacrifice. Change in your relationship begins with a shift inside of you. By embracing your own needs, expressing clear desires, and honoring your limits, and showing up as your authentic self, not as a fixer or a rescuer. When you stop trying to control his behavior and instead focus on cultivating your own peace and confidence, you create space for real connection. And that's when meaningful change can start to happen naturally. So, here's the next step I want to give you when it comes to this first belief. Pause the people pleasing and tune into yourself. So, the next time that you catch yourself thinking, if I just do more, if I just do it better, pause and ask yourself, what am I trying to control right now? And what do I really want or need in this moment? Once you identify that one need, take a small step towards honoring it today. So maybe that means sitting down with a cup of tea all alone where you can just hear your thoughts and watch the birds, or just be in nature, right? Maybe it means calling a friend or simply giving yourself permission to say, not right now, to all the extra demands on your to-do list. So why is this so important? Meeting your own needs replenishes your energy, reduces resentment, and models your desires and your limits within your marriage. When you honor yourself, you invite your husband to show up differently too, often in ways that you can't force, but you can absolutely invite and welcome. It's all about setting the tone, setting the culture in your relationship. So here's belief number 2, and it's this: I have to fix his feelings or behavior to be happy. So this is what is really it's about walking on eggshells, right? Walking on eggshells that seals your joy. So maybe you find yourself feeling like you're constantly walking on eggshells, trying to manage his moods or his reactions so that the day doesn't turn sour, or so that it's not his bad mood setting the tone for you, right? So you might spend a lot of energy trying to soothe him, trying to avoid conflict, trying to change his behavior because you believe your happiness depends on how he feels or how he acts. So, for example, after a long day, you might put on a smile and hide your own hurt just to keep the peace, hoping that it'll make him more loving towards you or more present. Or you might repeatedly give gentle hints about what he could be doing differently, hoping that he'll finally notice and improve. But here's the truth: carrying the weight of his emotions or his actions is a heavy burden that actually isn't yours to bear at all. Your happiness and peace don't hinge on his mood swings or his choices. In other words, his paper. They come from how you decide to take care of yourself and respond to any given situation. You can't control his emotions, his decisions, his paper, but you can feel peaceful and happy. You can control how you show up for yourself. When you stop trying to fix or manage him, you free yourself from the unnecessary stress and begin to build emotional resilience. So this isn't about giving up on your marriage or throwing up your hands and saying, well, that's it, I just have to settle. It's about choosing your peace first and inviting healthier connection from a place of calm and faith rather than control or fear. So, this is what I want you to experiment with if you're open to it. Let go of control and honor your truth. So, the next time that you notice yourself trying to manage or fix his feelings, gently remind yourself that his emotions are his paper, not mine. Choose one moment today where you would typically walk on eggshells to either avoid upsetting him or avoid getting bait. And instead of adjusting your behavior to control his mood, practice relinquishing control. And here's an example of what this might look like. It could be speaking your truth calmly, even if you're afraid that it could cause tension, right? So a great example of this that I see a lot is saying ouch if he hurts your feelings, right? I've heard a lot of women say, I don't want to say ouch if he hurts my feelings because then he gets upset, right? But really, this is about being true to you, honoring your truth, and relinquishing control of his paper. Another example would be I can't, right? Saying I can't if he asks you to do something that's going to make you feel overwhelmed or resentful. And again, I've heard women, and I've done this myself too, not want to go there, right? Not want to say I can't to something that feels like too much or overwhelming, simply to not make him disappointed or distant or frustrated, right? Or whatever it is. Again, that's his paper. So it's about allowing space for him to experience his feelings without rushing to fix or smooth them over, right? It's really relinquishing control of his paper and really embracing your paper to its fullest. Trust him to manage his own paper. This can feel uncomfortable, maybe even scary at first because it breaks old patterns, but it's an essential step towards healthier and more honest connection. When you stop managing his feelings and honor your own truth, you free yourself from emotional exhaustion and invite genuine respect and intimacy into your marriage. Here's the third belief that I want to talk about today: my desires don't matter as much as his. This is the cost of putting your desires last. You might find yourself putting your own feelings and desires to the end of the list, convincing yourself that his happiness is more important or that prioritizing yourself is selfish. And so many women, including myself, do this unintentionally. It's not an intentional decision, but it becomes really evident in the day-to-day choices of how self-care falls to the very end of the list. Or maybe the whole day is finished and you look back and realize, wow, I did nothing for myself today. Right? So it's not that any of these beliefs are intentional choices, but they become evident in the decisions that we make day after day. So maybe you cancel your plans or really silence your feelings, right? Your hurt and not say ouch, as I mentioned before, to avoid rocking the boat. But here's the truth. When you consistently ignore your own desires and your own truth, resentment builds and distance grows in the marriage. Your desires are valid and worthy of attention. In fact, your desires are a big piece and a major key to a thriving marriage. Honoring your desires doesn't mean that you love him any less or that his desires matter less or your children's desires matter less, right? It just means that you're practicing self-respect and modeling healthy self-love that can invite that mutual care. So I want to invite you to choose one desire to honor today. Maybe it's something that you've been putting aside because you felt guilty or worried that it might rock the boat. And this is really important. I want to invite you to not worry about how realistic it really is. This exercise is a fun way to honor your truth without getting weighed down by heavy expectations. Just because I desire something doesn't mean it has to happen today, right? That's more the self-care category. In desires, we're just talking about what's my heart yearning for and being honest about that and expressing it, even if it's just to myself in a journal. So some examples might be expressing a pure desire for a tidy kitchen, right? It's not saying who needs to do it or when, and it's not on my timeline or just the way that I say it has to be done, right? Because then I get into the control land once again. But it's just instead of, sucking it up and being angry and saying, oh, why do I have to do this myself all the time? Simply saying, yeah, I would love a tidy kitchen. Another example would be taking 30 minutes child-free to do something just for you, right? I would love 30 minutes child-free to go to the coffee shop or to check out that new bookstore in town or to walk the dog, right? Or saying I would love some new jewelry or I would love some new shoes, right? Or whatever it is that would make you happy, just putting it out there, putting it out there to the universe, putting it out there to your husband. And this is really about making a plan to honor that desire. And again, I don't mean that that desire has to come true, that it's not getting lost in expectations or weighed down by them. It's we honor them simply by stating them to ourselves and out loud. And so even if that means saying it out loud or journaling about it, notice how it feels to honor your truth instead of shutting it down and stuffing your heart's desires down. You are so worthy of joy. If you take nothing else today, I hope that that's it. You're so, so worthy of joy. Each time that you honor your desires, you strengthen your voice and create space for your husband to show up as your hero and make you happy in new ways. And then you both win. You get to feel loved. He gets to feel like your hero. He gets to feel like he can win with you, right? When you pay attention to your desires, your marriage can flourish. Flourish, excuse me. So this is really the mindset shift that changes everything. What if the peace and happiness that you long for in your marriage didn't depend on changing your husband or from really, attacking all of the problems in your relationship head on? What if the real power lies in shifting your own mindset, shifting these beliefs, gently embracing your desires, honoring your limits, loving yourself fully, and having that peace from the inside come outwards and really shift your marriage from the inside out? So When you choose to stop carrying the heavy weight of trying to control or fix everything, you create space for authentic connection, respect, and growth, both for yourself and your husband. Each small step that you've considered throughout this video, whether it's pausing before doing more or relinquishing control over his feelings or honoring your desires, is part of this bigger shift. This isn't about perfection or quick fixes. It's about the courage to show up for yourself with kindness and honesty. And in doing so, inviting more authenticity, understanding, and real connection into your marriage. So I'll be diving much deeper into these ideas and sharing practical tools to break free from the stuckness during a free live class that I'm going to be hosting in September. So I'm going to be sharing more details coming very soon. So stay tuned for that. Keep an eye out. So if you're ready to shift your marriage from the inside out and rediscover joy, connection, and peace, stay tuned to the emails because that's where I'll be sharing all about it. If this resonated with you, I invite you to please like this video, share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear which beliefs stood out to you most. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's video. Thank you so much for watching. You're not alone on this journey, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.